To get started with using EdPuzzle in Schoology, the first thing you have to do is install the app and make it available to all the courses that you're going to be using EdPuzzle with. This can be done at the administration level, but if you would like to get started with it on your own, what you're going to be doing after you log into Schoology is you're going to go over to the App Center, which is represented by this icon over here. So when you go over here, this is going to display all the different apps that are available. So I'm going to go over to the App Center. So when you go into the App Center, you see all these various apps, and you're going to look for EdPuzzle. And once you find EdPuzzle, you're going to click on it, and this is going to bring you to the screen that gives you a little bit of information about EdPuzzle. And then you're going to click Install LTI App. You're going to agree to the terms. You will probably just have an install for me, not add to school. So here's the very important part that you have to really be careful with. If you want this available in all of your courses, you're going to have to individually check the course and make sure you check off course admins only. This is going to be very important. If you don't click on that when the student tries to access your EdPuzzle within your Schoology course, it's going to ask them for a login, and we don't want that. We want them just to be able to go right into the EdPuzzle. So do this for all the courses, even if it's a course you don't necessarily think you plan on using it for. If you click on it, you will just make it available so that you can use in the future. If you happen to get another course during the course of the school year, you would have to go back and do this whole process all over again in order to ensure that your new course would have EdPuzzle available to it. So you can see here I have a check mark next to my grade 8 algebra, course admin only. Some of these courses I am not a teacher in, so it doesn't give me all the access that I need. So you're going to put this for all of your courses, check off course admin only, and then what you're going to do is click install. Okay, so this is part one, so it's installed, but there is some back-end work now that we have to do for part two. So now the second part of using EdPuzzle within Schoology is you have to get a couple of pieces of information from EdPuzzle itself. So what you're going to do in another tab is log in to EdPuzzle with your account, and then you're going to come to the upper right-hand side and click on the little icon represented by you, and you're going to click on your name. So when you click on your name, you're going to go over to where it says settings. Okay, instead of settings, I apologize, you're going to go over to school, and then you're going to scroll down to the bottom where it says LMS LTI integration. So you're going to select your LMS, which is in our case Schoology. And when you click on Schoology, it's going to give you two important pieces of information that you're going to need to bring into Schoology so that you can use this in your courses. So now that we have these two pieces of information available, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this screen open, but I'm going to pop on over to the tab that has Schoology still open over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to one of your courses where you install the app. So let's say, for instance, grade 8 algebra. You don't have to do this for every single one, but you have to pick one of your courses that you install the app for. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come over to where it says Course Options, and then you're going to click on External Tool Providers. So these are all the external tools that I have installed, but in order for this EdPuzzle to work, I have to put in those two pieces of information from EdPuzzle. So I'm going to click on EdPuzzle. So you can see here it's asking for the consumer key and it's asking for the shared secret. I have already done this already, so this is why this information is already filled out. But if I pop back over to the tab that has this information that I got off EdPuzzle, I'm going to copy the consumer key, and then I'm going to flip back over, and in the consumer key box I'm going to paste that in there, Control V to paste. And then I'm going to come back over again, click on the shared secret, click back over on external tools, put this in here, and then I'm going to hit submit. So it says you successfully configured EdPuzzle. So that's part two. So we installed the app, we got the consumer keys that we needed from EdPuzzle. Now it should be ready to go in the courses that we installed it. So now I'm in one of my courses and I want to bring something that I created in EdPuzzle into the course. So I'm going to go in, if you have this set up with folders, you can go directly into a folder where you want your EdPuzzle to appear. So let's say I want it to appear in my Unit 1 fractions. I'm going to bring my cursor down below one of my assignments so that I get that green dotted line because I want it to go right underneath there. And I'm going to now select EdPuzzle because this is now an option in my material. So I'm going ahead and click on EdPuzzle. And it may prompt you to log into EdPuzzle, but it might not. So what it's going to bring you automatically to is anything that you have in my content. You can't look through the EdPuzzle library. Everything has to be built already and put into your content in order to put it into your Schoology course. So you already have to have this already ready to go, and now we're just importing it in. So this is the one that I have. So in order to bring this in, you're going to put your cursor on the one you want and click on the eye. So you can see here you get a preview of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this right into my course. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to hit assign. You get a couple of options here. Prevent skipping is on. They can't fast forward through this. If you want to turn on closed captioning, you can do that. And then I'm going to click assign. So now in this folder, you can see I'm going to have the EdPuzzle, and it's represented by the icon. It's right here. So if I click on which hits the ground first, you can see it shows up right within in here. So right now, none of my students have actually gone into this yet, which is why I don't see anything. So it says to see your students' progress with this video, click on the gear icon to the right of your assignment, click Edit, check the Enable Grading button box in the pop-up window, click Save Changes, and you're done. So there is one more step that we have to do in order to actually see our students' progress. So again, it says see your student progress with this video, click on the gear icon on the right of your assignment and select Edit, check the Enable Grading. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to this course, and we're going to do exactly what they said, which is we're going to come over to where that EdPuzzle was. We're going to click the gear icon next to it. We're going to click Edit, and we have to enable grading, this little box over here. So if you were counting this as a test, you could, make changes here as well. But if you're not, assign a due date if you want this to appear in the student's calendar. And then you must pick a category as well, if this is an assignment and graded, etc. Save changes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on over and log in as a student in this course, just so you can see what it looks like from the student standpoint. So now what you're looking at is me logged into this course as a student, so that we can see what the student's going to look like when they access the EdPuzzle that you have put in for them. So we're in as a student. They will go ahead and click on the EdPuzzle, and it's going to load right here within the confines of Schoology, so they don't need to go outside to access this, and they'll be able to participate in this just as they would if they were outside of Schoology in Ed. And as the students enter all of their information, you will be able to go back once the students have completed it and see their responses and see how they did. When you go back over, we're now back over on my end. When I go back over here, I'll be able to see their progress by clicking on this. And those are basically the steps. It's a lot of steps, but once you have it set up correctly, this will work for all the courses that you give EdPuzzle access to within Schoology.